What's up, guys? Today we're going to take a look at the mechanical reaper in MTW. So, to get started, this is a mechanical version of our reaper system. All of the mechanical reapers we are shipping come with the Gen 2 Reaper technology. If you haven't seen the Gen 2 Reaper technical overview video, check the link in the description below. So let's go ahead and jump into this. We're going to go ahead and pop both body pins. Pull upper and lower apart. Now, starting with the lower, we'll immediately notice that it has a different trigger. This is a CNC aluminum trigger assembly. Has a little, we call it L-link up here. This is a completely different trigger mechanism than the electrical guns. There's no electronics inside. You just have this simple trigger mechanism. So, if we pop that out, we're going to use 1.5 millimeter Allen key to loosen the set screw. Pop the trigger pin out, uses the same trigger pin. And here's our trigger assembly. Take a quick look at that. There's a little spring there. This is the set screw that holds the trigger onto the trigger pin when it's installed in the lower. You'll also notice that we've put a pin in the front here. This is held in with a hairpin clip right here and a spring to keep it in place. There's no need to remove that for the purposes of this video, but it is there so that you are aware. To reinstall, it's easiest to have the gun in select fire. Drop the trigger in, install the pin, hold the pin centered, and tighten down the set screw. So that's our lower. Now, if we take a look at the upper, we'll find that there's also no electronics in the upper, so our contact yoke here is not there. Other than that, it looks pretty similar. We have the same clip at the front here. Air line's routed the same way. This is very, very simple to disassemble. Route the airline back through, pull it through, pop the front clip, and the engine comes straight out the back. There's nothing different about the uppers other than, or the hop-up, other than that we are using a different hop-up rubber for the Reaper builds, both mechanical and electrical. Looking at the engine, though, we'll see some somewhat significant differences. As we noted, this is the Gen 2 Reaper technology. A real easy way to tell is that nozzle is now spring-loaded. You'll see at the back, we don't have a solenoid, but we have this mechanical valve. We'll go ahead and remove that, and we'll take a little bit closer look at that. Now, those of you that are familiar with the MTW engines will realize that we do not have the screw on the top of the engine. The reason for this is that for the mechanical Reaper to work, it actually sits in the receiver upside down. Okay, so normally the engines sit in like this. We're going to sit in just like this. The mechanical valve itself is actuated by pushing the button on the back. This is a built-in pilot valve. This is the pilot valve that sends the air to operate the main valve here. So if you need to lubricate your valve, it can be disassembled to this point. We do not recommend disassembling the pilot valve itself. It has some very small parts in it that should be serviced by a warranty center, and this is not a user serviceable element of the system. But if you need to break down the valve in order to lubricate it, clean it, whatever you need to do, that's how it works. Spring can drop back in, and it'll sit down in a hole in the bottom. Check that our spring's lined up, and we can thread the pilot back into the back of the valve. So there we go. Reassembling this system, the valve will simply screw into the back. You don't want to fully bottom this out. How far you thread this in actually acts as the adjustment on the trigger engagement, because it moves the position of the button with respect to the trigger mechanism. But probably this will work for us. If we need to adjust it, we can adjust it once we give it a try. Reassembly is just like normal. We're going to go ahead and line up the clip. Remember, the engine goes in upside down, so the airline is actually on the top side of the engine, and then the airline can route through. And we're done. We'll go ahead and plug in there and check it. So, if you find that the trigger is not actually firing the system, you probably need to just back that valve out a little bit, make sure that it's at a position where the trigger actually engages it and actuates it. Other than that, good to go. So this has been the technical overview video for the Reaper M for MTW. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below or contact us at tech@wolverineairsoft.com.